Have your child experienced a traumatic event recently? Probably lost a loved one as a result of this pandemic, or is even having trouble adjusting to the social withdrawal as it pertains to close family and friends? Today, we're going to be dealing with trauma within the child and how you as a parent can assist in helping them through this difficult time. All this and more on Adaptive Adjustments. Thanks for joining us on our 10th episode of Adaptive Adjustments. I'm your host, Auntie Nika, registered mental nurse, certified mediator, and founder of the youth empowerment organization, Children's in Action. For today's episode, we're going to highlight what trauma is, the impact of traumatic events on children, and diverse ways in assisting the child to transition through this difficult time. Let's get started. Trauma is an emotional response to a terrible event. Such events can take the form of an accident, abuse, whether it be physical or sexual, death of a loved one, or even exposure to a natural disaster. The impact of trauma can be short-term or long-term. Therefore, shock or denial are often displayed as a result of an immediate response to trauma. As time progresses, other reactions to trauma may include intense and ongoing emotional upset, behavioral changes such as depressive moods or anxiety, flashbacks of the occurrence, problems relating to others or forming attachments, regression or loss of skills that were once acquired, academic difficulties, nightmares or trouble sleeping, loss of appetite, body aches and pains. Also, engagement in risky behavior for the older children. Now, parents, the way traumatic stress manifests itself will vary from child to child and will depend on their age and developmental level. No one is immune to the effects of a traumatic experience, as they all tend to be reminded in some way and display the reactions mentioned before from time to time. These disturbing memories can persist for years and are often linked to the circumstances relating to the incident and the aftermath. Children's responses to trauma are clear indicators of how they interpret the event and the likeliness of them adjusting. When addressing the onset of a child's response to trauma, it's important to consider the following: severity of the event, meaning how badly was the child affected and how serious the event was. The proximity of the event. Was the child present when it occurred? Did they hear it from someone or even watch it on television? Parents, I know this may sound like a lot, but there are ways in which you can assist. Firstly, you need to be able to identify the trauma triggers. Trauma triggers can be something that is being said within the home, being looked at on television, or even video games. Triggers tend to activate memories within the child's mind and prolong traumatic thoughts. Be emotionally and physically available. Provide attention, comfort, and encouragement in ways your child will accept. Avoid physical punishment. This may increase the overwhelmed feelings being experienced. Parents, try not to take behavioral outbursts personally, but instead allow for venting through channels such as drawing, journaling, or even seeking counseling therapy. Relaxation techniques are also useful in calming one's mind. Therefore, deep breathing exercises and exposure to nature can also assist in this regard. Self-esteem is also important and is necessary for alleviating unwanted fears and the enhancement of positive self-expression. Parents can nurture this by helping the child to feel safe, supported, and comforted. Most of all, be patient with your offspring and celebrate small accomplishments on their way to recovery. So to recap, we would have focused on trauma and its varied associations, the impact of trauma on the child, and how parents can contribute towards the recovery of their offspring. This episode brings us to the end of Season 1 of Adaptive Adjustments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on how these videos have impacted you. We also welcome emails at adaptiveadjustments@outlook.com for suggestions on topics for Season 2 that you would like to learn about. I'm your host, Auntie Nika. See you in our next video.